holds the most grudges on your show?
Male.
Who's second?
Ooh. Second. Ugh, Tisha? I say Tisha, but she don't be wanting to be. You know what I'm saying? But
I think Tisha.
she's sweet, but she don't.
She's very sweet.
Yeah, but she be trying to be mean. So
not trying.
All right, let's talk about what just went down on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, because this wasn't your average reality show drama. Fans of the show are used to arguments and tension, but nobody expected what happened between Stormi and Latisha to end the way it did. It all spiraled into something way more serious than anyone could have imagined, and it ended with Stormi being rushed to the hospital. But before we get to that, let's rewind and look at how it all began. The meeting between Stormi and Latisha was supposed to be simple and peaceful. Just two women sitting down to clear the air and resolve their differences. No big audience, no cameras right in their faces, and certainly no intention of starting a fight. Stormi even came in with good intentions, hoping they could talk honestly and leave the past behind. But things didn't stay calm for long. Stormi brought a close friend along with her, and that's when the situation took a dramatic turn.
Pick it up, there's a lot going on, but now that I got it, I feel like basically what happened was Moses was cheating on Destiny apparently. That may or may not be the reason why they separated. Sonny came along at that time and was talking to him, and he was talking to another woman, and she was cool with that, and in some kind of way he stopped talking to the other woman, and then within 90 days he got married. Like,
that's 90 days again.
It's a lot. Like, and then so I do agree with Destiny. Like, what that say about you? Like, you just cool. Like, why would you do all that waiting for this?
During the conversation, Stormi's friend casually brought up a rumor that's been floating around for a while that Latisha's husband, Marceau, might have a child with another woman. It wasn't meant to stir the pot, at least not at first. It was more like, people are saying this, maybe it's time to address it and clear things up. Unfortunately, Latisha didn't take it that way. People who were there said her mood shifted instantly. At first, she was just visibly annoyed. But very quickly, her frustration exploded. Witnesses said her voice got louder, things escalated fast, and soon, they weren't just arguing, they were yelling. Then came the physical part, hands waving, things being thrown, and security rushing in to break it up. It got so out of hand that production shut everything down immediately. And here's the kicker: cameras were still rolling when it all happened. So yes, there's footage. But the producers are in a tough spot. It was so intense that they're not even sure if they can air the episode legally or ethically. This wasn't just drama for ratings, it turned into a real-life emergency. Because what happened next shocked everyone. After the chaos died down, Stormi collapsed. People on set said she was crying uncontrollably, shaking, and having trouble breathing. It wasn't just a panic attack. EMTs were called, and when they arrived, Stormi was barely responsive. She had to be given oxygen right there and rushed to the hospital. Doctors later confirmed she experienced something called an acute stress reaction, which is a serious response to emotional trauma. It's when your nervous system gets so overwhelmed that your body begins to shut down. Stormi had to be sedated and monitored overnight. Machines were keeping her stable. This wasn't a minor issue, she had a genuine medical crisis, and it all started with what was supposed to be a simple conversation. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. While Stormi was in the hospital recovering, Melody Holt showed up without cameras, without any press. Now remember, Melody and Stormi have had a rocky history.
Behind the Love and Marriage Huntsville page. No, okay, I'll say this. Nobody beat me up today. I ain't got beat up by a goddamn person. I'm gonna say that. Not a hand, not a nothing. Sorry. Folks like to lie. Not a touch. Okay? Yeah.
They've thrown shade at each other before, and fans wouldn't exactly call them close. So when Melody walked into that hospital room, people were surprised. There were no social media posts, no attention-seeking behavior, just Melody quietly sitting with Stormi, checking in on her. And people who were there say it was a sincere, heartfelt moment. Stormi was still shaken and emotional, but Melody stayed, talked with her, and helped calm her down.
You have to have people around you who have a similar mindset. Be okay with cutting off people who don't.
That moment between the two women got fans thinking, could this be the start of a real friendship? Or was Melody just being smart, making sure she's seen supporting the right side in case this whole thing explodes? Honestly, maybe it's both. Melody knows how the reality TV game works, but it still meant something to see her show up when it really mattered. Meanwhile, the network is scrambling. This wasn't just a dramatic scene for entertainment, someone ended up needing emergency medical care. That creates a huge problem for the producers. People behind the scenes are now going over every second of the footage, trying to see if things went too far. Did Latisha actually hit Stormi? Did anyone try to step in quickly enough?
I was like, this is crazy. Like, people are really offering you money to come on this show and lie. So at that point, I was like, forget it. It's a lie. Like, now I don't believe anything.
Could the show be held legally responsible for what happened? Stormi's husband, Courtney, is furious. Behind the scenes, he's demanding answers and accountability. Some reports say he's even talking to lawyers. And to be honest, he has every right. His wife nearly passed out on camera, and from his point of view, production didn't stop the fight soon enough. Now there's even talk that Latisha might be removed from the show. Not just because of this incident, but because keeping her around might create even more trouble down the line. And as if things weren't already messy, here comes another twist. That rumor about Marceau having a baby with someone else? It's getting harder to ignore. A woman who's worked closely with Marceau, someone who's been around his business circle, claims he's been renting a separate apartment and paying for it in cash. And she says he's often seen going in and out with a younger woman who looks strikingly similar to Latisha. That same woman was apparently spotted at a doctor's office, a women's clinic. And yes, people say she appeared to be pregnant. Marceau was seen sitting in the waiting room during her appointment. Now there's talk that Marceau has been pressuring producers to keep certain scenes out of the show, especially anything that hints at his whereabouts or personal life. Which raises the question, if there's nothing to hide, why try so hard to cover it up? Latisha's reaction has been just as puzzling. After everything that happened, Stormi being hospitalized, the fight blowing up online, rumors flying, you'd expect some kind of public statement. Even just to hope she's okay. But instead, Latisha has gone completely silent. No posts, no comments, nothing. And fans are starting to notice. Some think she's trying to protect her image. Others believe the silence says more than any statement could. If she really had nothing to do with the drama, wouldn't she be defending herself? Wouldn't she be shutting down those cheating rumors? Her silence is making a lot of people wonder what she's not saying. Now the fanbase is divided. Some say Stormi shouldn't have brought up Marceau's name, that it was none of her business. But others believe Stormi had every right to ask those questions, especially if there's a possibility Latisha is being kept in the dark. And after everything Stormi went through, her supporters think Latisha went way too far, both emotionally and physically. So what do you think? Did Stormi cross a line? Or did Latisha completely overreact? And more importantly, do you believe Marceau really has a secret baby? And listen, if you made it this far, you already know this isn't your regular reality show mess. This situation went from drama to real-life danger in a matter of minutes. What started off as a calm sit-down between Stormi and Latisha ended with one woman being rushed to the ER, another possibly facing consequences from the network, and rumors swirling that could change everything. At the heart of it, we're watching real people deal with real emotions, whether it's jealousy, betrayal, fear, or pain. And even though it's wrapped in the world of reality TV, let's not forget that Stormi actually had a medical emergency. That's not a storyline. That's a human being whose body literally shut down from stress. That's serious. Melody stepping in the way she did, that was unexpected. But it's also the kind of moment that reminds us that even with all the shade and side eyes, there can still be grace and empathy. Maybe there's hope for something real between these women. Or maybe, like some of y'all are saying, it's all strategic. Either way, it made an impact. Now, with all this talk about Marceau and the rumored baby, let's be real. It's looking more and more like there's something going on behind the scenes. When someone's that quiet, dodging questions, asking producers to cut certain footage, and disappearing from the public eye, yeah, that silence starts to speak volumes. Latisha's silence? It's deafening. And it's got people asking, is she protecting her family, or hiding from the truth? And as for Stormi, people are divided. Some feel like she poked the bear by bringing up Marceau during the meeting. Others think she had every right, especially if the goal was to be honest and clear the air. No matter where you land, you can't deny that she didn't deserve to end up in a hospital bed over a conversation. Now we've got fans calling for accountability. Courtney, Stormi's husband, isn't staying quiet. He wants answers. He wants someone to be held responsible. And he's not wrong for that. So what happens next? That's the question everyone's asking. Will Latisha address the incident publicly? Will the producers air the footage or bury it to avoid legal drama? And what about Marceau? Will he finally clear the air about these rumors or keep playing the silent game? Oh, and don't forget, the woman allegedly tied to this whole side baby situation is about to speak out. From what we're hearing, she's got screenshots, receipts, and some tea that could blow this story wide open. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Stormi crossed a line by mentioning Marceau? Should Latisha be held accountable for what happened during the meeting? And do you believe there's actually a secret baby in the mix? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'm reading every single one. Let's get into it. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update. Because trust me, this isn't over yet. This story is just getting started, and the next chapter is going to be even wilder. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and stay ready. Because the truth? It always comes out.